spoke to Bruce about it, and he was really excited about, you know, getting teeth into them sort of lyrics, and so we decided to write the whole album about that, make it a concept album.
Right.
Back to the early 70s type of thing.
Now, obviously, I mean, you did an awful lot of the writing as well, Adrian. While you were writing, I know you tend to write separately. Did you, when you were writing the songs, did you do it all with one story in mind?
Actually, we co-wrote quite a lot of stuff together. Like me, Steve and Bruce wrote a couple together.
Really? It's quite unusual, isn't it?
We're doing stuff together.
Oh, we've done, I think, the album before last, we did a couple like that. I think when we first discussed the idea of the Seventh Son, we already had the music for Moonchild.
Right.
On the demo. So it all came together. I think, yeah, when they were writing the lyrics, it was, you know, bearing it in mind, it was a concept album.
Musically, it's quite a departure for the band as well, isn't it? I mean, you're using really the old keyboards and stuff on it.
Yeah, well, the reason for that was, you know, that on the last album we used guitar synths, and this time I said to H, look, you know, I can't be playing this guitar synth on stage because it's like I've got to need a lead, and I can't have a lead because otherwise I'll trip my arse over it, you know what I mean? And H said he didn't want to be bothered with the pedals, didn't you? So we just said, well, what we'd do, we just play it all on the keys and get me bass roadie, Michael Kenny, to...
The Count?
The Count.
The Count.
Yeah, get him to play it, yeah.
Well, he's actually going to be on stage with you then?
Well, he'll be sort of popping out, yeah, lurking. He'll be popping out from time to time, you know, sort of like, you know.
Yeah, so Stu said, so it's not a bother, you know, with pedals and stuff.
Right.
We won't probably only use it on 5 or 6 songs. But it does sound like the songs needed keyboards, you know. So it's just kind of background keyboards. So me and Steve were kind of playing 2 fingers and all this, because none of us are keyboard players.
Not keyboard players at all. It was just like a couple of chords, like drum,
yeah, next one,
like that, next one, you know. We're not really that happening with the keyboards, isn't really. But it's just really straight stuff, like in the background, like string for effect, you know, like orchestration sort of thing. And especially on Seventh Son itself, there's a lot of like choir type. You know, big voice thing, you know.
Right.
Wanted to create like an almost sort of film type of sound, you know.
Like very atmospheric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it worked out really well. I'm really pleased with it.
There's the lyrics on the new album, a lot of them are very, very strong. I can just imagine all those people in America that love to pick up on these things, like references to Lucifer and birth strangled babes and all this sort of thing. I can just imagine them pulling out those lines and going, they're Satanists, they're devil worshippers. I mean, are you worried about that sort of reaction at all?
Not really, because they always pull out the bits that they think, you know, they're going to get the most headlines with, I suppose. But the whole album is about, you know, good and evil, you know, life after death, whatever, infinity, the whole bit, you know. It's just sort of questions the whole thing within the song structure and the story of the Seventh Son and the Seventh Son. But they always just pick out those bits. I mean, when we did the Number of the Beast album, it was just the one song, which was about a dream, and which ends up with a twist. You know, I'm not saying I'm do either, but then again, we don't write about the occult.
Tell me, one of the things, of course, a lot of people have mentioned over the last year or so, particularly, while you've been away recording and what have you, is that, you know, thrash metal is the new coming thing. We have loads of letters into the show, people saying, you know, play more thrash metal and that. And, you know, you've got the bands out there like Metallica, Anthrax, people like that. While you were recording this album, how aware were you that, you know, you've got these people now chasing you, like trying to steal your crown? I mean, were you very aware of that?
In a way, I would say that, if anything, we would have tried to steer away from all that sort of thing, because, I mean, well, I'm not really a great fan of thrash metal, I must admit. I mean, to me, there's not enough melody in it. It's just, it's like lots of energy, you know, play, yeah.
Play very well, but, you know, the music is kind of, was not very musical. You know, they can certainly play. You probably get hundreds of these bands in a couple of years. There'll be a couple of bands around that have got a bit of substance, a bit of depth, you know. They've actually got songs and can rise above all that.
But I think they'll have to broaden their horizons a bit, you know. I think that a lot of bands seem to be scared, even the thrash bands or whatever, that they're scared to write anything remotely melodious.
Yeah.
Because their hardcore fans go, they're selling out, you know. Which is just bloody stupid, you know. I mean, it's, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea at all, I'll be honest.
It's funny though. I mean, you know, obviously you're not particularly big fans of that sort of music, but so many of these bands, you say to them, well, you know, who's your influences? And they go, oh, I'm Maiden. You know, I mean, you know.
Got a lot of answer for
Yeah,
it, haven't we?
exactly. Yeah.
what do we do? I don't know. No, there's a couple of decent bands out there. You mentioned a couple of them, you know, Metallica, Anthrax, and that. Metallica, I've always said, and I've told Lars as well anyway, I'm not keen, never been keen on the vocals. I think if they had a really strong singer, I think it'd make a hell of a difference. Because I think maybe it probably restricts their writing, that, you know, that it's all sort of sung at one level.
Right.
And you can't, I know from even writing with Bruce, you know, like going from Paul to Bruce, most things that are throw at Bruce sort of thing, you know, he can go for anything you throw at him, he'll have a go, you know. Because he can sing high and low and light and shade, whereas I think a lot of these fresh singers just sort of like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like me now at the moment after a few beers last night, you know, it's like, I could probably get away with it now, my voice is a bit gone, you know.
Now listen, the next world tour starts in May, I'm told, out in Canada, I think. And you're only going out for about 6 or 7 months this time, aren't you?
Yeah,
Practically a
short
mini
one this
tour
time.
by your standards.
Yeah.
A jaunt.
Yeah.
You looking forward to it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's been a long while since we've been on the road, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's
we
been
finished
about,
up.
we finished last May. Mind you, we had probably 3 or 4 months off, but we spent from October working on our album, rehearsing. So, you know, we've had a bit of time off, so we're ready to go now.
Yeah, recharging our batteries, and especially, you know, when you finish an album as well, apart from wanting to play it to everybody, you know, you want to get out and actually play on stage, and, you know, it's nice, because we've been off the road long enough now to actually really want to get out there. And it's not like someone saying, oh, you know, you've got to go back up and do another tour. It's not like that, you know, we're really raring to go, like, you know.
Now, of course, everybody knows now that you're going to be headlining at Castle Donington this year. You're also going to be doing the Monsters of Rock festivals in Europe. Now, people have been waiting for this to happen for such a long time, and finally you're doing it. Why now? What made you decide to do it this year?
It just feels right, doesn't it, at this point? I think that, I mean, fans have been coming up and saying for a few years, oh, why don't you do Donington, why don't you do Donington? And it just feels the right time to do it. I mean, it'd be fantastic to have all them Maiden fans in one place. I mean, it should be unreal, you know. And the last time it was remotely like that was Reading, and that was quite a long time ago now. So it's, well, we're looking forward to it, put it that way, you know.
Yeah, plus we get a chance to do a real big show as well, outdoors. Quite spectacular.
Have you already worked out what the stage show is going to be like?
Yeah, but we ain't telling you.
Go on, just a little bit, just a bit of a clue. Go on.
Well, we can't really, can we? Can't give it away, you know what I mean? It'd be pretty spectacular. We've actually sold our old lighting rig, because we used it, you know, like 2 or 3 different versions of it, and we've sort of worn it out, really. So we've got a completely new lighting rig. It won't actually be moving about as much, but we've got, like, more lamps, because we want a different approach to it this time. And there's quite a few good special effects, but obviously I can't say too much about them.
Do you know who else is going to be on the bill yet? Can you tell us that, or is that a big secret as well?
Well, Dave Lee Roth is definitely confirmed. There's talk about either Kiss or which actually by the time it goes out, one of them might be confirmed, I don't know. Also, I think Halloween, Poison. There's 1 or 2 other bands being talked about as well, isn't there? Also, well, hopefully Aerosmith, if they're into doing it. I mean, you know, if we could get something like us, Kiss or Art, Dave Lee Roth, you know, Aerosmith, Poison, Halloween.
That's a hell of a
that'd
bill, isn't it?
That'd be great, yeah.
Pretty good bill, eh?
Yeah.
But, I mean, we're trying for the best bill possible, obviously. It's just a question of whether other bands want to do it, really.
Right.
You know, we've asked a few bands, and we're waiting to sort of hear back at the moment whether they want to do it or not. And if they don't, tough, we'll get someone else.
All right, then. So look, I really do look forward to it, and lots of luck. I'll be there, and hopefully we'll be there with the cameras as well, and we'll have a good day.
Yeah, cheers. Mate.